Guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trenopole, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the University of Cincinnati Bearcats and the great Oscar Robertson. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, you found the show. That's awesome. First-time viewers, that's great. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. Let's try to get our viewers up to 700. I am at 662 subscribers. That is awesome. We're keeping it rolling. All right. I started off the show with the comment about the Crosstown Shootout, but we just had, I think, breaking news. Anyway, this was posted by somebody on Bearcat Country that the University of Cincinnati Bearcat basketball team is out of the preseason NIT. And there's no explanation as of right now why. And I think that's bull beep. Now, this is according to Kelvin Sampson. Now, that is if you believe Kelvin Sampson, because he's been known to lie and cheat and, all that. But anyway, Kelvin Sampson just confirmed on a Zoom media call that Houston, as previously reported, is going to play alongside Texas Tech, Gonzaga, and Auburn in the preseason NIT in Orlando. Now, it was supposed to be the Bearcats. I don't know why they're not. There's been no explanation or anything. But we did have some good news today from our coach, John Brannon, and here's his video.
It's the night that makes basketball fans out of all Cincinnatians. It's the UC Bearcats against the Xavier Musketeers.
They have packed Fifth Third Arena to the brim.
This is a huge rivalry. It is crazy. It is Yankees, Red Sox. It's for years.
Hey, Bearcat Nation. The Crosstown Shootout? Are you kidding me? Man, I never missed one of those when I was a kid. 1992 senior year, Terry Nelson guaranteed a victory. I know Hugs couldn't have been happy about that. We won going away. That was our Final Four team. Then a few years later, when Hugs and Coach Gillen wouldn't shake hands after the game, man, we went to Graders after that game. I had to settle down. Then a few years after that, #1 Cincinnati Bearcats, Lenny Brown hitting that runner for the Xavier win. That was a great win for them. I'm glad Mom had Montgomery in at the house. It would have been all for nothing. 2020, pandemic. I got kids at school telling my daughters, what's going on with the Crosstown Shootout? My wife says it's all over Twitter. It's been a crazy few weeks. But Xavier called. They said they understood it wasn't equitable. That was the term they used. So I felt like we could work something out. So we first offered neutral, and they come to our place at 21. I think they had a lot of games scheduled in 21, so we couldn't do it. So then we came back with, we'll go to your place this year. That's 2 straight years at the Cintas Center. Thought maybe that would break up the schedule in 21, maybe. Didn't work. So then I thought for sure, we'll go neutral this year and go 2 Crosstown Shootouts in the same year. That's a lot of cheese conies. They didn't go for that one either. Then the last one I thought they'd really go for. Neutral, at Cintas, 2 years, Fifth Third Arena. They didn't go for that one either. They must have football now because they schedule way years ahead. Just doesn't seem like it's been very equitable. So we'll go December 6th, 2020, Fifth Third Arena. Go Cats.
I love that video. I love Coach Brannon. He said that was a lot of cheese conies, but they did a lot of back and forth trying to get the Crosstown Shootout to play, and it looks like it's going to happen. So we got a couple things to discuss as far as Bearcats go. We got, like I said, the breaking news that I just found out that we're not going to be in the preseason NIT, which I was looking forward to. That was, we haven't been in the preseason NIT in years. I mean, we were in those are the tournaments that we were in when we were, #1 in the country. We were top 5, so it's getting me excited. I'm like, hey, maybe we're getting back to that. And then it comes out that they're just kicking us out and putting freaking Houston in there. Now, this is all, like I said, according to Kelvin Sampson. And like I said, who believes Kelvin Sampson? I'm sure Houston fans do, but I don't know how confirmed it is, but apparently we're not going to be in there. But we are going to play the Crosstown Shootout, and it's a Wednesday show, so I just wanted to do kind of a fun Wednesday topic, what are your favorite memories of the Crosstown Shootout? Now, I know some Xavier fans will be like, well, it's because our favorite memories, we beat you the last couple of years. Yeah, well, that's about to change, in my opinion. But my favorite memories were just going to the games with my dad when I was a kid. And then later on with my family, I brought my son, my daughter, my wife. We all went there, and it's just intense. It means so much to this city of who wins, bragging rights, stuff like that, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I remember one year we went there and there's Xavier fans running up down the stairs with their banners and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to win. I'm like, at the end of the game, I was like, you didn't, we won. Anyway, those are fun times. I'm hoping to get some Bearcat conversation going on here. I'd like to find out why, if anybody knows out there, anybody like a Bearcat country, you guys posted this, if you guys can get on here and tell me why or what you've heard or what's going on right now, because I'm on the air, so it's kind of hard for me to look it up as to find out why we're not in the preseason NIT. All right, now, Zach Taylor had his press conference today, and we had these discussions a lot this week about AJ Green. Does he want to be here? Is he giving full effort? Stuff like that. So the very first question right off the bat was about AJ Green. And it says, what is your expectations this week for AJ? Zach, he will take today off. He usually does. It's a scheduled day off on Wednesdays. But I expect him to practice tomorrow. He's feeling good. So we'll see what happens. This whole thing with AJ has been very, very strange, I'll say. I don't know what's going on with it. It's very strange, because if you're hurt, you don't play. So if you're hurt, you can't ask for a trade. Anyway, Xavier Williams, they signed him. The question is, to Zach, Xavier Williams said he was familiar with some of the terminology on the defense. Is that why you guys signed him? And Zach said, I wouldn't say that was the primary reason. But he's a guy. We felt we should add him to the group. So I think it's just injuries and they need people. All right, I got a couple questions here. Let's see here. Dennis, what do you got here? I think Zach Taylor was so lucky he was around Sean McVay. Not that Sean McVay. I think the Bengals thinks he's a quarterback whisperer. I don't know about that. I mean, I do. He did get a lot of credit for being with Sean McVay, and he's getting a lot of fight back. A lot of people think we should fire him, but I don't know. We'll see. We still got a long ways to go. I got to know from Dennis here. What'd you say here? I'm speaking to some of the Bengal fans who feel my pain. It's better if a rookie quarterback have no rookie head coach his second season. How long is that going to take? I'm sorry, Dennis. I can't feel my pain. It's better if a rookie quarterback doesn't have a rookie head coach. Well, actually, Zach's not a rookie anymore. His rookie year was last year. So, yeah, I mean, everybody keeps talking about firing Zach, but the thing, like I said, is you can't go into this year after year after year firing the coach. I'm telling you, they fix that offensive line. I think it's going to be a lot better. Now we got some more stuff here from Zach's press conference. Now talk about the secondary for the Colts, because we had a discussion about this yesterday, and just the defense in general about the Colts and how the Bengals could attack it, and what do they have to worry about? Now here's a question. He said, what kind of challenge does Joe face, meaning Joe freaking Burrow, on the Colts secondary? As Zach said, they're tight in coverage. They have a lot of picks. He says, I think they picked them off 6 times this year. Pick people off 6 times this year. They are very disciplined against the run, very sound with their fundamentals, and they don't overcomplicate things. So they're very sound, very to me, that's only a very basic defense. They don't do a whole lot of crazy stuff, but they're very good at what they do. So that is going to be pose a problem for Joe? I don't know, because like I said, he's a very good quarterback, and he had a bad game. He even admitted the whole offense had a very bad game on Sunday. So I don't, if Joe Burrow is the great quarterback that we all think he is going to be, this should be a bounce back for him. It should be a bounce back game, and hopefully he'll take over and take off, because that's what the great quarterbacks do. They don't let these bad games bother them, and they just put their head down and go to work and try to figure out what to do next game and moving forward. And that's where I think Joe's at in his development here. And like I said, the thing is about his development, we have to all remember he's very, very good, but he's still a rookie, So the Baltimore Ravens confused him. I think that's obvious on the blitz schemes and the coverage, the blocking schemes that they missed, confused him, like I said, Jim Turner, the offensive line coach. I was saying yesterday, I think maybe he's the guy that should go. But biggest reason I said that yesterday, because I had a couple of people comment on the show after the show. Biggest reason I think that he should be gone is because, like I said, obviously the Bengals, Zach Taylor, Duke Tobin, listened to their coaches. When Lou Amaretto said, we got to change it, they changed it. Turner said, we're fine. Hasn't worked out at all this year for that. All right, Bengals report. What do you got? Joe Mixon, 5th in rushing so far, a yard so far. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I keep saying, just think what it'd be like if he had an offensive line. He might be number 1. I mean, and I know I keep going back to the point about Jacksonville and the way they played against them. I don't care how bad Jacksonville is, and they're not very good. But you put 505 total yards on any team in the NFL, that's pretty good. And to me, like I said, everybody keeps getting mad at Zach and blaming Zach for the way they're playing and getting mad at Zach's play calling. Did anybody get upset about Zach's play calling in the Jacksonville game? I did not hear one single comment on that. Like I said, we did 2 Bengals shows, Monday and Friday last week, and I do 3 of them by myself, and nobody said that I remember a word about firing Zach Taylor or his play calls or any of that stuff that week. So to me, that is what Zach Taylor wants the offense to look like and perform like. And when they fix this offensive line, hopefully in the offseason, that's what moving forward our offense is going to look like. All right. More things about the Colts here. Let's see here. Now, their run efficiency. Now, they win third downs more times than not. That's another part of this keys to these games, of this game. We have to do a better job. And I always say, and people get on you, say we. Well, I'm a Bengals fan. It's we for me. We have to do a better job of third down conversions. And if you look in the previous games before Baltimore, the Bengals actually did pretty good at converting third downs. That's going to be a key. That's a key in any game, converting third downs. And Joe Burrow said it in his press conference. And I think Zach Taylor said it. You can't do it when you're third and 5, third and 2, third and 3. It's easier. But when you're third and 24 and third and 15 or whatever we were, those are actual third downs for the Ravens game, it's really hard to convert those. All right, Bengals report. You think AJ Green is going to be traded? No, I don't think he's going to be traded. I said this yesterday and multiple times. 2 reasons. 1, he's getting paid $18 million. Actually, 3 reasons. 1, he's getting paid $18 million a year. 2, he hasn't done anything in almost 3 years. 3, he's playing this year. And again, he hasn't done anything. So, and if you saw his efforts, and it's all over Facebook, all over Twitter, his effort after that fumble, I don't know anybody that's going to trade for him, because the biggest reason is he's not producing. Now, one thing they did talk about in the press conference with Zach about trying to get Joe and AJ on the same page and get them going. And to me, a big reason why AJ is having such a hard time getting going other than the fact I think he's hurt. AJ will admit it. He is a rep guy. He needs reps. He didn't get them. Him and Joe, I don't know if they ever got together in the offseason and threw, to each other. That's where OTAs have been good. Actual regular training camp, preseason games, stuff like that. So they could, figure out the right routes, figure out when AJ should break it off. Those are things that AJ did not get this year that he strives on. He needs that as far as, getting better and being the AJ Green of old. But like I said, I also really think that he's injured and he's completely frustrated. All right, hang on, Adam. I got you here. All right. Excuse me. AJ Green would not be traded. He is just battling with injuries on the field. That's why he's lost a step a little, but he will get his mojo back. I hope so. I mean, I agree with you. Adam, and get two first names, Adam also. Adam, I agree with you. I really do think he's hurt. I really do think that's a lot to do with the way he's playing. And that's where I think his frustration comes in. Because AJ, for 7 straight years, 7 Pro Bowls, he was never, I won't say never. He was, 1 year he got injured, but he came back. He wasn't gone the whole year. Oh no, that was the first year. No, I'll take that back because I was at that game. That was the game against Buffalo. That was 3 years ago. That was the beginning of him getting injured. So, but for 7 years, he wasn't injured. And he made the Pro Bowl. And he was one of the top 3 receivers in the NFL. So, yeah, I think it's very, very frustrating for AJ. I know it's frustrating for him because you're used to be able to do stuff that you just can't do right now. Like I said, either because you're injured, you lost a step, or whatever. The point is they're not trading AJ. Everybody needs to get that out of their head. That's not happening. And I don't think AJ is trying to get out of Cincinnati. I really don't. Because, like I said in past years, who would trade for him right now? He looks like they're all seeing the same thing that we're seeing. It looks like he's lost a step. Looks like he's injured. He's not being very productive. Why would anybody trade for him? Now watch, turn around and the Bengals are trading tomorrow, but I can't see any NFL team trading for him. I mean, the Jets just released Le'Veon Bell because of him being disgruntled and all this stuff, which was, I think Le'Veon Bell really messed up and he lost a ton of money. Who knows where he's going to end up yet? Maybe I haven't seen anything yet of where he's going to end up. But I know this is Cincinnati sports broadcast, but I was listening to Dan Patrick today, and he had a guy from ESPN, and he kept repeating over and over. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to go back to Pittsburgh, and there's no way Pittsburgh's going to, Pittsburgh is going to let him come back. So it's like, anyway. All right, question from Facebook user here. All right, but once you start getting injured and older, you'll never be the same. But AJ still AJ. Yeah, I mean, and that is true. Once the injuries pile up, it does take a toll on your body. And the thing is with these injuries, AJ hasn't. You have to adjust, I guess, is the thing. And maybe the Bengals need to adjust AJ too. Like Larry Fitzgerald, he's prolonged his career. He doesn't have the speed he used to. He doesn't have that anymore, but he's prolonged his career by moving into a slot. Now, AJ's body type really isn't a slot receiver, but I don't think AJ is the deep threat, at least right now. Unless he gets healthy, maybe he will be. But right now, I don't think he's the deep threat. I don't think his legs can take it. Because if you look at the very first play in the what was that? That was it wasn't the last week's. It was Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguar game. The very first pass Joe Frickenborough threw. He threw it straight to AJ. And AJ did not have that burst to go get the ball. He actually started running to the sideline and kind of grabbed his leg. And I'm like, I think he just hurt himself. And, and then last week he was sitting out because he hurt himself. So I do think that they need to kind of maybe change the game plan on how they use AJ. And AJ needs to realize that he doesn't have it. Maybe he'll get it back. I don't know. But right now he doesn't have that speed. He doesn't have that explosion. It's not there. Which the only thing that concerns me, I know all that's there, but I haven't seen the fights for the contested ball like AJ was known for, because it had Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton wasn't as accurate as Joe Burrow. Joe freaking Burrow has put the ball right there. And there's sometimes where some of these plays where AJ could have fought a little bit more for the ball, I think, made a little bit of effort. And I don't know. That's the part that I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he looks like that. I don't know. Let's see here. Got our question here. Facebook user. There just has to be a damn good reason to get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's another reason. I don't know why you get rid of them. I agree with you. I don't see a good reason to get rid of them. Your option is John Ross. Because you replaced Ross with Tate, so you trade AJ. So who are you going to play? I completely agree with you there. I don't see it benefiting the Bengals getting rid of him. Right now, you just hope that he can get healthy and he provides something for you. You could say, oh, we'll get a 6, 7 round pick. I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think people are going to give us that. And I don't think it's worth it. You get a 6, 7 round pick. You're giving up AJ Green. If AJ Green, we still got a long ways to go, people. This season just started. We're still in the first month of the season. So we got a long ways to go. So AJ can get better. And the thing is, you got a rookie wide receiver in T. Higgins, and he is learning from AJ. And you got Tyler Boyd there, who's still learning from AJ. So these are also things that, AJ can and has, I think, done for the team, these young wide receivers. All right, Joe. I think Higgins can be our deep threat. Maybe Higgins doesn't really have the speed. To be honest, it's hard to tell that. They've taken shots with him because Joe Burrow hasn't had time to throw the ball for the deep threat. It's one of the biggest reasons. Another reason we haven't had the deep ball. You got to have time to throw it. And, you got to be able to sometimes let the wide receiver be able to make a double move to get open, so it takes a little while for that play to develop. All right, Facebook user. After that, he's dragging us down. My opinion, I can't get past that play, but the Bengals will not trade him. Nothing there. Yeah, I agree. I have a very hard time watching AJ not give an effort, after that fumble and him gingerly jogging. He ran up the field, but he ran nowhere close to the guy who had the ball. I do agree that was just that's not AJ. That's not the AJ Green that I know. The AJ Green I know would fight his butt off and go get that guy. Anyway. Let's see. I got more questions. All right. Facebook user. Only way to benefit is to get an entire offensive line right now. Yeah. I agree with you, but that's where I said this yesterday. That was my biggest topic yesterday. They should have fixed that in the offseason. You guys watching knew our offensive line was bad. I knew our offensive line was bad. Jim Turner, for some reason, told Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin that we're good. I don't know why he told them that. And like I said, they listened to their coaches because Lou Amaretto said, this ain't going to work. We got to change it all up. And they did. So that's where, we do need an offensive line. They're going to grab anybody they can off the street. The guy I'm not saying he's going to fix everything, but he got a Denijai. And Turner graded him as a second rounder. And we got him in the 5th. And he hasn't seen the field yet. And we've tried everybody. Why isn't a Denijai given a shot? I don't know. That's one that I think is curious. And I don't know why. I haven't heard one person from the media ask him that. I watched him with all of Zach Taylor's press conference. And I don't remember that question coming up. Where's Adeniji? Why don't you give him a shot? Unfortunately, I just got a YouTube show. I don't have a press pass. Or I would ask because I'm curious. All right, Mike Kyle. Like you said, Jeff, I think AJ is upset because of the injuries, but at the same time, he isn't happy with the losing, just my opinion. Yeah. I mean, who would be? Who would be happy with the losing right now? Yeah. I mean, I'm not happy with the losing. I mean, it sucks. I mean, it's really the part that's really frustrating to me is if we had fixed the offensive line like we fixed the defense, we'd be a pretty good team right now. With AJ Green being injured, I mean, look at our offense when it's clicking. Joe Burrow had 3 consecutive 300-yard games. That's with this crappy offensive line. Just think what we could have done with a good one. Anyway, let's see here. You said right now. I don't know what you're talking about. You said right now. Please clarify because I don't have your name on there. It says Facebook user. All righty. Facebook user. AJ is also double teamed. Yeah, he is double teamed a lot. And that does, even with his injuries and with him not being productive, that does help the other guys. That help Boyd get open. That helps T. Higgins get open. That's the thing. If we don't have AJ on the field, they can single up everybody. So that is a big key, to that he does still draw a double team. He's still AJ freaking Green. Jeremy Dane. I'm with that guy. It was me about AJ. What? Which guy are you talking about, Jeremy? There's a couple guys. Comments about AJ. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, bud. But anyway, I do think this game with the Colts is winnable. The defense is pretty good. But like I said, we got to win on third downs, and we got to score in the red zone. That's another thing that Zach Taylor was asked about in his press conference. He's frustrated as the rest of us. But the thing is, though, me and Jeremy and Mike have talked about this on our Bengals shows. How many touchdowns has the Bengals gotten taken away from them? I mean, technically, we should have won the Chargers game. There's holding penalties on these. Now they're all by the Bengals. It's not all the referees. There's so many times that we're right there, and we shoot ourselves in the foot, and that comes down to execution. And a lot of it, like I said, I hate to say it, but a lot of it is holding calls on the offensive line, which comes again that we needed to fix that. All right, Adam. And don't forget, sometimes Joe overthrows his way at time. Yeah, and that's one thing nobody said that, and I love Joe Burrow, but the deep balls that he has thrown, they haven't really been on target, I will clarify that. The one to John Ross in the first game against the Chargers was right there. That's what drives me nuts about John Ross. If John Ross extends his arms, jumps in the air, goes all out, and tries to catch it, it might be a touchdown. But yeah, I don't think Joe's deep ball has been there like it was in college. Now, a lot of that, again, has to do with the pressure he's getting, on the offensive line. Okay. Right now was correcting a typo. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a problem. Yeah. You are right on that. Our defense is played good. And that's the thing too. Our defense, we had so many injuries on our defense, and they still stepped up and kept us in every game. I mean, we were in the Baltimore game. They let 20 points. It was 17 points for, almost over half the game. So our defense has been in it, or has kept us in it. All right. Jeremy Dane. I'm not giving AJ a pass here. What he did was inexcusable. We have young guys all over this team starting, and he's acting like a diva. Yeah. I mean, I can't really argue with that. And the part that's surprising to me is that's not the AJ Green that I've come to know and love. That's one thing I really enjoyed about AJ. He wasn't one of these diva wide receivers, look at me, look at me, look at me. That wasn't AJ. And it's still, I'm not saying this is AJ. He's not saying that, but just, I don't know. There's something up. I can't put my finger on what it is. Facebook user. Only games we should truly, or only, I'll try that again. Only game we truly should have lost was the last one against the Ravens. I agree with you. We've been in a lot of, and people will get on me about the Browns game. The Browns game, if we were in it, if we score a little more, which to me comes down to the offensive line, we could have won. I mean, like the Chargers game, that one, there's no excuse. We should have won that one. The Eagles, we should have won that one. I mean, and the Eagles, how many times we go down the red zone and not score? I'm like, it's just been frustrating. Jim Turner needs to be fired. That's kind of what I'm saying there, Mike. All right, Dennis. I don't think Zach knows how to be a head coach. Okay. He got very lucky to be with the Rams, since then went to the Super Bowl. I think the Bengals, like, maybe we can get them to his, right. We can get them his magic might do some, I don't know. You want to get rid of, I got it, Dennis. You want to get rid of Zach. I know. All right, Zach. Then who do you want to hire? Don't go out there and say we need to get Bill Belichick. We need to go out and get one of these big time name coaches, because that never happens in Cincinnati. We've never had that. So if Zach Taylor is so bad, and the Bengals have been in every single game, and they were in almost every single game last year, if he's so bad, and who we getting? You know, who else? Please tell me. Jeremy, Joe gets 2.4 seconds, worst in the league. Our O-line is at the bottom of every category. You're right, Jeff. Kind of hard to throw the perfect long ball. Joe is our future. Yeah, I can't. I know every show I'm like offensive line, but it's still blatantly obvious. That's what it is. It's like, and that's why I don't understand. Why did Jim Turner say we're good? I don't get that. You know, I don't get it. Dennis, man, AJ was a what? In the olden days, they had, I have no idea. Okay, we're not playing olden days here, and I don't even know what you're talking about there. Okay, Adam. There you go. I almost want to start Finley to save Burrow for next year, because these coaches really believe we can win with this O-line. I don't know if they believe that anymore, because they keep bringing guys in. But yeah, that is an option. And I'll put it to you this way. Like I said, we're blowing our phones up back and forth during this Raven game. We got to get him out. We got to get him out. If they didn't take him out in that Ravens game, they're not taking him out. Dennis brought this up yesterday. Well, we should have kept Andy Dalton to be a test, crash test dummy or whatever, however Dennis put it. Yeah, you can put Finley in there, but is that going to help Joe's development? And that's where to me, it's a fine line. Joe needs to play to get better. The offensive line needs to get better. I don't know if it's going to or not. To me, last year they did get better. Not great, but they did get better. So put it this way. If we're getting blown out like we did in Baltimore, yes, take him out. I agree with you. Put Finley in. That's what they should do. Throw the white flag up, do that. But I don't think we should let Joe sit the entire season and let Finley take snaps, because I don't think that's going to help develop the chemistry that Joe needs to develop with T. Higgins, with Tate, with Boyd, with Joe Mixon. It doesn't develop. And I hate to say, guys, but most of these guys from this offensive line are going to be here next year. I mean, that whole left side and the center from center to left tackle, we're I won't say we're fine, but I'm okay with it, because Jonah Williams is getting better. Michael Jordan is getting better. Hopkins is good. You fix that right tackle and that right guard, it's going to make a big difference. All right. There you go. Yep. See, that's what Jeremy said. Jeremy, I'm with you, Adam. That's what he was hollering for. All right, Dennis, what do you got here? If the Bengals don't want to win, they can pick an unknown quantity. If they want to win, they need a coach that has been there. It may cost some money, but if you want to win, you need to spend money, right? And that, yeah, I got you. But Sean McVay, where'd he come from? Did the Rams spend a ton of money to get him? No. Bill Belichick, who's one of the best coaches ever. He got fired from the Browns. Just because a guy had success other places doesn't mean he's going to have success in Cincinnati. These great coaches that NFL teams get, most of the time, they got them from other teams' coaching staffs. That's where the great teams get their coaches from. I'm not saying Zach Taylor is a great coach by any means. I don't know yet, but I don't think he's god awful. I mean, god awful is David Shula. That guy was god awful. There's no reason he should have been a head coach. The only reason he was a coach in the NFL because his last name is Shula. Okay. Zach Taylor, I think I don't think he's a bad coach. And the thing is, somebody else brought this up. I can't remember what show it was, but they said there's no accountability on this team. And I disagree with that because look how many times in the middle of the game, Zach has pulled our right guard and put somebody else in there. How many times has he done that? He did that last year. So yes, there is accountability. When they don't play right and they're not where they're supposed to be, he'll pull them. They're done. So I don't agree with that. And I don't agree with that Zach Taylor is this terrible coach. I mean, if you actually look at what's going on with the team and the only thing that we are talking about that we were all of us, every single one of us are complaining about is the offensive line. That's what we're complaining about. We're not complaining about the defense. They fixed that. We're not complaining about the wide receivers. Except for AJ Green. We're not complaining about the running backs. We're not really complaining about the tight ends. Drew Sable, they drafted him. Looks like he's stepping up this year. He's starting to work out and play good. The only thing we're complaining about is the offensive line. To me, Jim Turner, Zach Taylor listened to Jim Turner, and he shouldn't have. That's the guy you fire, is Jim Turner, because the biggest problem with this team is the offensive line. So you want to blow everything up, start all over again, and get another coach. Sorry. That doesn't make any sense. I'm getting a lot of people keep saying that, and it's just like that doesn't make sense. Good winning organizations don't keep running through coaches. Okay, look at the New York Jets. How many coaches have they had? They're going to go through. Adam Gase is going to get fired. They're going to have 3 different coaches. Sam Darnold is going to have his 3rd coach if he's still the quarterback next year. Sam Darnold, in most people's mind, should have been the number 1 pick in that draft. They have ruined him by going through coaches and going through coaches and going through coaches and changing this and changing that. Good NFL teams, and I'll say the Patriots, do this. You have a plan and you stick to the plan. The Bengals had a plan with the defense. It worked. The defense is way better than it was. They had a plan with the offensive line. It didn't work. Not all your plans are going to work. But I'm telling you, they can fix this. And it's not by firing the coach. That puts you back years. Because then you got to put in a whole new coaching staff. You got to put a new offensive system in, a defensive system, everything. You got to start all over again. And one of the questions that Zach got about Jesse Bates, why is he doing so much better this year? It's his 2nd year in the system. That's the thing. You keep bringing coaches in, new systems, new this, new that. Then the guy's got to go, okay, you got to start all over again. And, okay, I'm supposed to be here. Okay, then you have missing assignments. And I know we're having missing assignments on the offensive line. Again, I think that's Jim Turner. But those are the things. That's why you don't get rid of the coach after 2 years. Marvin Lewis was here for 13. And honestly, the only time I really think we should have got rid of him, I think we were like 2 years too late, to get rid of Marvin because he's been here so long. Now, when you've been in an organization for that long, yes, it's time to move on, move up to the front office, move on somewhere else. That's where Mike Brown held on to Marvin Lewis too long, but Zach Taylor is not going anywhere. He's not. All right. Let's see here, Adam. All right, Adam. And I respect Joe because he doesn't complain. Exactly. I love that about Joe. Doesn't complain about the O-line. And it's bad, but you would think the O-line would take that and go hard for him. Yeah, the biggest problem I have with the O-line is the missing assignments. That's the part that drives me nuts. I said this on the past couple shows. If they're better than you and they get beat, Jonah Williams got flat beat when Joe Burrow got sacked from behind. He got flat beat, but he was there and he was fighting his butt off trying to stop the guy. There's so many times that we had missing assignments. And like I said, I don't know if that's, Joe will take the blame and say, I missed some blocking schemes there, So yeah, I love that about Joe. And that's the thing I loved about AJ Green. He never complained. He never said that stuff. That's why I don't know why he's doing it now. So anyway, let's see here. Joe, Zach Taylor will be fine. We need to fix the offensive line. Turn needs to go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, thank you. Well said. Yes. That's, I agree with you, Joe. You can't keep changing. Can't keep changing the coach. Now, the funny thing is, I say that. Now, if you watch any of my shows about the Reds, I want David Bell fired. And there's a difference. He has a team that can win the World Series. Okay. In my opinion, at least should score in the playoffs. Okay. And yes, he's only been there for 2 years, but he's been given the players to do that. Zach Taylor right now is playing. We're playing with one arm tied behind our back with this offensive line. It's like a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. We don't have all our guns. So to me, you can't judge Zach on that yet. You can argue with me all day you want about it, but that's the facts. And that's what I try to do on the show. Give you the facts. And the facts are the offensive line stinks. And that's the biggest problem with this team. Okay. Dennis, you're back. All right. What do you got here? Bill Belichick had an average quarterback. He wouldn't be so great. Tom Brady and Cam Newton, Drew Bledsoe, take all of them away, and Belichick can't get it done. Okay. Well, Zach Taylor has got a really good quarterback in Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow, like I said, this had 300-yard games. That's the most by a rookie. No rookie's done that. So I think Zach Taylor's got himself a really good quarterback. And I think it's on par with the same thing that Bill Belichick got. So, yes, I agree with you, Dennis. So I'm not sure what your point was to that, what you said, but yes, I agree with you. And I think we're going to be okay. Is Zach Taylor going to be awesome? I have no idea. But you can't judge him because you got to judge him on the stuff that he's doing. You got to judge. The offensive line sucks. We all know that. I keep saying that, but the rest of the team has gotten better, and they haven't quit on Zach. And that's the thing you got to notice. If you ever watched David Shula, okay, do you guys remember? I can't remember the linebacker's name, but he was the one who had the eye paint and he pulled it down like this. He's rubbing David Shula on his head. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. They didn't give two craps what David Shula said. They're listening to Zach Taylor. They're listening to him. They're trying. So I go offensive line. That's anyway. Let's see here. What do you got, Jeremy? Sheila, what? I don't even know what that is. All right, let me see. We got some more questions. I know I missed some of you guys. Let me see. Okay, here, Mike. Let's see here. All right, Mike. Jeff, I agree. The Bengals shouldn't fire Zach if you don't have a head coach lined up. Yeah, and they don't. And the thing is, we talked about this yesterday too, where somebody asked me, "You think we should have gotten Zimmer as the coach?" I said, "Yeah, that would have been great." And that's where I just said a little while ago that Mike Brown held on to Marvin Lewis about 2 or 3 years too long. That's where they should have made the transition to go in for Marvin Lewis to move up. Now, you could say that why is it working with New England? Okay, well, New England, they go through guys so quick. You are not there that long. Tom Brady, everybody knows, was the only one there, was from beginning to end. Everybody else, they rotate and go through. And the Bengals, when we had that 5-year run, we had a lot of the same guys, and they've been there for 5, 6, 7 years, and hearing the same stuff from Marvin, sometimes goes in one ear and out the other. And that's where you have a veteran team like that, where they kept it. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's the way normal NFL teams do it. They keep a lot of the good players and your head coach. And, after a while, they keep hearing the same thing and you're not listening. Mike McCarthy had the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. That's why Mike McCarthy is in Dallas now. Coaches change. what Bill Belichick has done in New England, nobody's done. I don't think there's been a head coach except for, I think, George Halas for the Chicago Bears, and because he owned the team. Coach was a head coach longer than Bill Belichick. I mean, you can check me. I'm just guessing. I don't think that's wrong, but we'll see here. Hang on, since I got more comments. Okay, Adam. All right, let's see, Adam. All right, do you see how fast we signed D tackle to replace DJ Reader? Why can't we sign somebody on the O-line to help? Jim Turner is stubborn. He really believes this is the best O-line. Well, somebody said yesterday that they were talking about signing some guy from Minnesota. The guy who said it, I think his name was Jim. I haven't heard anything about that. And yeah, they went out and hurried up and signed this guy. Well, Adam, it's a good question. I don't know. Because they went out and got guys, that they know. They went and got Redmond back, which worked 1 week and worked the next week. My biggest thing is with Turner, and I think Turner is kind of stubborn and keeps trying to use the same guys. That's not working. And I've said this, and I said on this show, I don't know if you guys heard me when I said it before, but I don't know why Adeniji is not getting a chance, and I don't understand why nobody in the media has asked. And I mean, if anybody out there has heard the media ask why Hakeem Adeniji is not playing, please tell me, because I have not heard it. And for them to rotate everybody, I mean, they've played everybody at right guard that they could possibly play except Adeniji. I don't know why, I'm really just surprised that nobody's asked that question. Why hasn't he played? Is he hurt? Because I looked on the injured list. I don't see him on there. So, I mean, that's, to me, I'm not saying it's the best case scenario, but at this point, I'd rather play him than some guy off the street that's been sitting at home for, the whole season, not played. I'd rather try to get Adeniji shot and see what's going on. So, I don't know. All right, Dennis. Adam, I agree with you 100%. You hit the nail right on the hammer. Yep, exactly. We all agree with you, Adam. I don't know. It's very frustrating. The thing is, I mean, offensive linemen are not a dime a dozen. That's why if there's very, very few offensive linemen that are drafted in the first round. I mean, if you are good enough to be drafted in the first round, I mean, there might be one, maybe two on a regular NFL draft that are drafted in the first round. They are very hard to find. That is one position that is hard because you got to be, a 6'7", 300-something pound athletic dude who can move. Those don't just grow on trees. So we're not the only team that has had a rookie quarterback and had a terrible offensive line. I mean, look at the Houston Texans when David Carr was on there. He got crushed, and they never could fix their offensive line. Hopefully that won't happen with the Bengals. And like I said, it's not like the Bengals haven't tried. And I'm not trying to defend them, but these are the facts. They have tried. You got a Boyhe. You got Billy Price. You got, these guys, they have tried. It just has not worked. I wish it would have. I mean, put it this way. If Billy Price is the center that he was supposed to be, that makes Hopkins your right guard. That would fix it right there. I mean, you still have Bobby Hart, but that would really fix the offensive line if Billy Price actually worked and was the center that they drafted him to be. I mean, that would fix it. It just hasn't happened. All right, Joe. I live 45 minutes from Athens and watched Burrow play high school football. All I got to say, we Cincinnati Bengals fans absolutely have a stud rookie quarterback. I've got a man crush on Joe Burrow. I will completely admit it. He is the best rookie quarterback, me personally, I have ever seen. I mean, to watch him break down a defense when he has time to do it and make plays and get the ball and his passes. I mean, me and my boys from Bengals Nation, we've talked that they're right there. Like I said, deep ball, that's not there yet. But like I said, I think a lot of it has to do with pressure on him. And that makes a big difference, But yes, Joe Burrow. And that's the thing. Dennis said, Well, Bill Belichick had this quarterback and Nick had this quarterback. What NFL coach has ever been like a legendary good coach that didn't have a really good quarterback? I mean, Joe Gibbs, you can say he won it with 3 different guys, but yeah, one of them was Joe Theismann, who's a Hall of Famer. Other one was Doug Williams, who had a just tremendous year, could be a Hall of Famer. And I can't even remember the third guy, Ripken. Bill, I think his name Rippin. So, I mean, you can win it with a guy, for 1 year, but if you win multiple Super Bowls, those are Hall of Fame quarterbacks. That's the level that Joe Burrow is at. All right. I'm talking too much here. Try to get to your questions. Yeah, okay. Adam. Okay. Our organization is just weird for some reason. We just can't be great. It's a Cincinnati thing in general, Adam. I mean, we had 5 straight playoff seasons and could not win a playoff game to save our life. And that to me was the biggest problem with Marvin Lewis and Dusty Baker. Because that same period of time, Dusty Baker couldn't get us out of the first round of the playoffs. And to me, they both were too relaxed, and people like Zach doesn't get on people. I've seen Zach get on people, and I've seen him bench people. So those are things you got to be held accountable for. And I don't think Marvin Lewis did it enough. I mean, Jared Dean, he loves Vontaze Burfict. If Marvin Lewis could have ever got him to stop doing stupid crap, Vontaze Burfict would have been the best linebacker in the NFL when he played. Because when he's playing, he was awesome. But he did too many stupid things. And Marvin Lewis is like, come on. It's okay. Come on. You got to do better. Like, no. You do something that's dumb, sit your ass on the bench. That's what they should have done. But they didn't. So that's, I think, the problem with the organization. And I'm hoping Zach Taylor is changing that just from the stuff that I've seen him do the last 2 years. Sorry, hold on a second here. Okay, Jeremy, you're next. Okay. There are no teams giving up O linemen. We should have done more before the season. Yes. Yeah, exactly. You can go find a guy. Just not lying. You should see what he does with Joe's cigars. What? All about my man crush? Yeah. That was supposed to be a secret, Jeremy. Strawberry Ice is in love with Joe Burrow. Yes, he is. Strawberry Ice is in love with Joe Burrow. I like him. Anybody, hey, Joe, you said you watched Joe Burrow play, or Jim, whatever your name was. Tell Joe to come on my show. I would love to interview him. Adam, and thanks, Dennis. I just been in misery with this team for so long. I don't know if we'll ever get over the hump. The thing is, I did a little rant about that when the Reds lost. Because I'm a Reds fan. I'm a Bearcats fan. I'm a Bengals fan. I keep saying this. One of these days, we're going to win. And it's going to be so much fun. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm hoping it's sometime soon. I'm hoping it's before I die. That'll be great. But, we'll see. Jeremy, I feel you, Adam. One day, man. Exactly. We all feel you, Adam. We all feel exactly the same way. One of these days, it's going to happen. And then we can go up to all the little Tweety birds and all the rat birds and the Squealers fans and go, bleep you. All right. Let's see here, Dennis. You have more questions. Whatever the reason was, Big Brother couldn't get her done in Cleveland. You're supposed to be great. She had to go to New England to be great. Well, actually, honestly, he had a pretty good team in Cleveland. They won the at the time the NFC Central. They had they brought in the Testaverde. He was actually playing pretty good. They had Metcalf. They had a really good defense. They actually had a pretty good team when they left. So he had, if you watch the documentary of when the Browns left Cleveland, look at the coaching staff that Bill Belichick had on that team. Look at the players. Go back and look at the record. I mean, they were winning the year they left. I think they were in first place, and then everything happened, and they decided to move, and their season went whoop. So Bill Belichick was a good coach then. So anyway, that's not, you got to watch that to find out exactly what happened in Cleveland. Totally agree, Joe. Thanks. Let's see here. They named Athens High School football field. Yeah, no, actually somebody, it was cool. Somebody on Bengals Nation, I think, or maybe it was on my Strawberry Ice Facebook page, I don't remember, but they live up in Athens and actually sent a video, and they drove up and showed the sign and everything. That's really cool. I mean, that's awesome. Athens isn't that far from me. One of these days, I might drive up there and go check it out. Okay, got some more questions. Hang on, scroll down. Bengals. Okay, Bengals need a coach who has old school thinking. Okay, Dennis, what is old school thinking? Old school thinking to me is hand the ball off and a cloud of dust. That's old school football. They don't do that. You do football, they spread you 5 wide, and they throw it all around. So, and so I'm not sure what I explain what old school thinking is. What is Zach doing that's not old school thinking? What? I mean, he's benching guys. That's one thing. That's one thing that kills me. Everybody got upset. I got upset because Marvin wouldn't do anything. Zach is doing stuff when people don't, do things right, do what they're supposed to. He yanks them off the field. I mean, so what? That's pretty old school. You mess up, you go sit down. So I'm not sure what old school thinking that you're talking about, Dennis. Anyway, Jeremy Dane, old school. Exactly. That's like, hey, for all you wrestling fans, The Undertaker gets on the top rope. Old school. Anyway. All righty here. Let's you guys keep going. If you got more questions, we can keep the conversation going. I love to have gotten into some Bearcat conversation. I'm on Bearcat country, but you guys, I guess, don't know. I'm wearing Bearcat stuff. Let's talk. I mean, we should have been in the preseason NIT and we got kicked out. Does anybody know why? I'd love to know why. Cohen Sampson says we got kicked out. Well, actually, he says they're in. Didn't say technically we're out, but apparently we're out. I'd love to know why. Anyway, I got Facebook groups here that I help run. And I invite you guys all to join them. They are Bengals Nation, Bearcats Country, Reds Country, and Cyclones Country. And as always, you can follow me on all my social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They're all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'll be putting this on the podcast later on today. I got to figure something out. I did something. I hope you guys can find it because I've looked on Spotify. I haven't seen it on there. It's on iTunes. It's on Apple. And those are the only ones I see my new shows on is those. So I got to figure out what in the world I did. So anyway, if you get to find it and listen to it, give me a 5-star review. YouTubers, like I said, we're up to 666 subscribers. I appreciate all of that. Oh, okay. Here you go, Dennis. All right. Let's see. Your old school thing is play smash mouth, run the ball, and help the defense get some air. That would be great. You need an offensive line to run the ball. Joe Mixon is making cuts in the backfield almost as soon as Joe Burrow hands him the ball. I mean, all right. We had 505 yards against Jacksonville. Joe Mixon had 100 and something yards in that game. So, as I've said before, Dennis, and you love talking to me, and I know you love my show. That's great. And we can have a argument, a discussion, whatever. That's awesome. But if you fix the offensive line, it's going to be more like it was against Jacksonville when we play these better teams. That's what they're going to do. They are going to run the ball. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to move the ball. That's what Zach Taylor envisions. All right, I got one more before we get out of here. Adam, question for OG. All right, OG. Oh, gangsta. Jeff Strawberry Ice. I would talk about the Bearcats, but I love my Vols. Oh, well, I got a question for you. How'd you like Butch Jones? Yeah, he worked out real well for you. Just kidding, Adam. Yeah, maybe the Vols are starting to come around, man. I don't know. They might have found something. We'll see. All right, guys, since Jeremy is not on the show with me, he wants to leave you with a little message. Hey, guys, Remember, this is very important. You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati. All love. Bring on the Colts. Exactly. And just remember, not tomorrow, but Friday, me and Jeremy Dane, that's what you got to say. He's from Alabama, so I got to say Jeremy Dane, you know. And Mike Kyle, we will be doing the Strawberry Ice and Bengals Nation pregame preview. Yeah, basically, it's a fun football Friday show. Talking about the Colts, talking about our thoughts, what's going on, different things, and all that. Adam, you liked my comment. Gotcha, brother. Anyway, other than that, it was fun talking with you guys. I enjoy all of the comments. Like I said, you guys can comment after the show. I try to answer all of them. I don't get to all of them, but I try to answer them. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And you guys have a wonderful day. And that's just sports, baby. See ya.